Hello and welcome to another Italian on the Edge. No, not a nervous Italian. We have an Italian knife on the edge. Yeah, that's funny. So, as you can see, we have another Fox knives in this very nice little pouch with this sewn on Fox badge and the Italian flag colors. Very nicely done on there. Let's get this guy out of the pouch and lay that knife down so that you can see him. So a very nice sleek silver fox, and I think I've just got the title for my video there. Fantastic. So what we have in front of us is the Fox Knives FX-525 tie. There's a catchy name for you. So this is a Bob Terzuola design, and he's the Brooklyn-born American knife maker. Apparently started his career many years ago making folding knives for soldiers, apparently in Guatemala. He's a knife maker now in his 70s, and I believe now residing in New Mexico. Right, so there endeth the history lesson. So what I'm going to do is go through the materials of this guy, the dimensions, and then speak a little bit about the design and what I think about the knife. So what we've got here is a blade steel of Bowler N690. It seems to be a blade steel that Fox knives use quite often. Handle is titanium. The clip is a milled titanium clip. We've got a phosphor bronze washer for the pivot hiding deep inside there, and then all the screws are torque. So for those guys who want to clamor around the inside of their knives, you can do so with ease. Dimensions of the knife, blade length, so once again from the point of the handle closest to the tip of the blade, is 9 centimeters or 3.54 inches. Thickness is 2 millimeters or 0.12 inches. And that, to me, the naked eye, actually looks a little bit thicker, but that might have to do with the very squared off design of the knife. But maybe we should have a quick look at that, if I can see the caliper lying on my desk here somewhere, which I, as it turns out, can't. Caliper, and we've got a caliper. Right. Great when it's also beautifully planned. Right, what do we have? Let's get him just... Yeah, okay, 3 mils, so they bang on. It is obviously that squared back that makes it look a little bit thicker. Right, where was I? Overall length of the knife is 20 centimeters or 7.87 inches. And then let's check the weight of this knife quickly. Let's get the old black hole scale on here, and I was checking the scale out a little bit earlier on, and it was being very temperamental. So let's see if it makes it through this. Right, we've on grams, and that is 90 grams. So a nice light knife, or 3.2 ounces. Yeah, so very nice, sleek, light EDC knife. Okay, so that's materials and dimensions handle. Let's get him out and speak a little bit about the design. So quite a sort of flat overall design for the knife, very sleek, very understated kind of knife. And I suppose this probably gets into that that category of gentleman folder. Blade shape, we've got a drop point blade, that is what's that, stone wash finish. And then there's a bead blast finished for the rest of the knife. On the handle and on the pocket clip is a bead blast. And then, as I said, stonewash. Get that a little bit closer so you can have a look. And then you can see the Terzuola design name and logo on there. The logo is a sort of stylized dragon head. Nicely done. The edge on this knife, actually one of the best Fox edges I've seen for a while. And if you've seen any of my other reviews on Fox knives, I had a bit of a chuckle. They seem to have had a little bit of an issue with their edges, except a black Fox knife that I reviewed. This one, the one side looks slightly thicker to the other, but you know, it is uniform and it is pretty neat, and I'm not going to complain. It's got a little sharpening choil behind the edge of the knife, and that's probably one of the neatest and roundest sharpening choils I've actually seen for a while. I don't know if you can catch that. Is the screen blurred or is it my eyes that are blurred? But yeah, very, very neat, perfectly round little sharpening choil there. In terms of size of the hand, again, my medium-sized hands, 4 fingers very comfortably on there, plenty of room to spare, a little bit of jimping on the back of the blade. And I'm sure you've spotted by now something while I was talking about the blade that I didn't mention, and we can speak about that now and speak about the deployment. But we've got a thumb disc. Let's try it that way around. That sounds better. A thumb disc deployment on this knife. I think that's the first, well, I don't think, I know that that's the first thumb disc I've had on the channel. So it deploys easily. I mean, no difference between that and oh, that was a soft one, but you get the gist of it. No difference between that and a normal thumb stud in use. There's a little bit better. And you can, and let's see if I can get into sort of soft spidey flick. And I managed, there we go, managed to do it a little bit. But you know, it's not the most sort of fly out type blade, yeah. On those phosphor bronze washers, but not bad. Now I just want to stop here for a second on this disc, because there's something in there that I saw in the pouch which is quite interesting. So 2 things. First of all, it's a little baggie that came in the pouch, and so we've got a little tool there that is, and let's just get that open. So you've got the little Torx tool, which is really nice. Love it when manufacturers do that and they have the confidence to allow you to scratch around in their knife. So that was included. Nice little touch. But then there's this little guy that was added in there as well, and I sort of scratched my head on this for a while. And Blade HQ said it was a replacement over travel stop. And I think someone's just guessing, because it definitely is not that. And what that is a replacement for the little thumb disc. So you can take that off and slot that in its place. I thought that was interesting, and I can only assume that that is done for perhaps countries or states in the US where you can't have knives that are one hand open. I'm assuming that that's what it's for. So you can take that out, off, replace it with that, and you'll have a legal knife. It's the only reason I can think that you would actually do that, and then it becomes a two-handed opening affair. Although you can, just don't tell anyone, you can open the knife like that, but it's just not an aggressive, flicky, dangerous knife then. I guess, I don't know. So yeah, I thought that was interesting that was included in the little pouch. Right, what else do I need to speak about on the design of the knife? So the handle is nicely rounded on the edge. It's a beveled edge really that goes all the way around it, so no hot spots, comfortable to hold. We've got this little bit of a shape to the knife that appears to be more for aesthetics than anything else, because you know, if you grab the knife there, yeah, your first 2 fingers do fall onto the higher plane and these fingers in the back, but it doesn't really seem to do anything in terms of ergonomics on the knife. So you know, there it is. Use it, don't. The typical sort of barrel standoff, I shouldn't say typical, but it's got barrel standoffs in the back, 2 there. No attempts to lighten the material on the inside, but it is a light enough knife as it is. So that pretty much covers most of what I wanted to mention on the knife. Oh, yeah, you know, I suppose does one even mention this anymore? Because just about every knife I'm reviewing nowadays has the stainless steel insert on the lock bar, and you've got the little extension that is your over travel stop. So nothing unusual. Quite an attractive pivot cap on that side. Gives you that nice sort of lighting effect on it, the way that it's been machined, circular machining on it. It's nice. Right, now, Fox knives. I'm going to speak a little bit about their QC, which they just don't seem to be getting completely right. So, first thing, blade centering is off. Now, it's not massively off, but it is off. And when we speak about the cost of this knife just now, yeah, I think one can expect blade centering to be perfect. And then the other thing, the pocket clip. And this might be isolated to this specific knife, but as I was handling the knife, I kept hearing something loose on it, and it's the pocket clip that is. Now it's not loose; it's fastened properly, but it's obviously not bent down enough, so you get that little tick that. Well, I don't know. I just find it quite annoying when you're handling the knife and you hear that. Anyway, so it might not bother you, but I just wanted to point that out. Interesting as well, while I speak about the pocket clip, and that I didn't mention to you, so it is tip-up carry. It is right hand only, but you can see no screws on the outside of that clip. So to get to that clip, you need to take the knife apart, and then you'll access, and if you look inside there, you'll see the two little Torx screws inside. So, easy enough to fix that, but again, I don't know if I'm maybe becoming a little bit irritated by the Fox knives that I've been getting, because I like it. I like the fact that the knife comes from Italy and is made in Italy, in Maniaggio, Italy. It's on there, and their designs are attractive, and they're working with good designers, and it just seems that there's this little QC issue that's going on that really needs to be sorted out, and sort that out, and you'll have a very, very, very attractive catalog of knives, and very compelling and very tempting. As it is, they still are tempting, and I've bought a number of the knives because they are so nice. But they seem to get the finish on some parts of the knife really, really perfectly, and then there's just one or two other things on the knife. So again, on this specific design, maybe it's an isolated one, but I've had now a few Fox knives the last little while, and if you've seen my reviews, you'll see me mention that, where there's just a few things that are missing. And the other Italian knife maker that I've had a few knives on, and hopefully we'll be getting a few more on the channel, Extrema Ratio. The finish and quality on their knives has been really good, except for the one which was a military issue knife, and that is built like that for a reason. But anyway, there it is. There is this knife. Once again, guys, it sounds like I'm ungrateful now, but I've got to thank Blades and Triggers for supplying this knife to me for review. Maybe it's the last one they supplied to me for review. No, but the understanding is that I will be honest on my reviews of the knives. So again, I thank them for their support. I thank them for making knives like this available to me to have a look at. This guy at Blades and Triggers is 5,795 Rand, and I've mentioned before, negotiate with them if this nice knife interests you. But there, I've given the price of it. Oh, and let me speak about the dollar price first. So if you're interested in the US dollar price, I saw him online at Blade HQ for between $127 and $321 and $254 for this specific knife, which is probably a good place to pause and just tell you that there are a number of options, and hence that price range. So there are a few options available in the knife. You've got this exact one with a blue tinted anodized, I suppose, handle. So all the same materials, but a pale blue. And then there are 4 versions that have wooden handles. So you've got one in birch, one in olive, one in bocote. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Sorry, Bocote. And then on that specific one, the one I can't pronounce, the bocote wood, you've got it with this blade steel, or with a Damasteel blade steel with the what is the specific pattern is the dense twist Damasteel blade. So a number of options on the knife. But now getting back to that price, and this is why I'm saying, I get a little bit frustrated that it's not an inexpensive knife, and you'd expect a knife in that price range to be bang on and perfect. So, hence the few gripes on it. Guys, there it is. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Always appreciate you stopping by. And once again, I appeal to you to please subscribe, hit that bell icon. And other than that, you go well and God bless.